ready to face the unknown and ponder the question. What if?
What's going on, all you wild ravagers? It's the two favorite rascals back here. I'm Logan Myers. It's my good mate over there.
Henry Star-Lord Hill.
God bless you, Chris Pratt. And tonight we're going to be talking about more of what if? What if I We're back talking episode 2 of What If, the new show on Disney Plus, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the animated show that we had a great time with in the first episode, diving into Captain America, Peggy Carter, but this time around they're doing a different take on this one. What if T'Challa became a Star-Lord? So we see Chadwick Boseman returning to voice the character. Obviously this was done before he passed away, and him in the role of Star-Lord, Chris Pratt's character from Guardians of the Galaxy, and their take on that. What would happen? What if, Black Panther was involved with all that?
In a galaxy far, far away. It was a nice little spin on the story. I thought it was really cool. It was cool seeing these other characters, and the events changed to where, T'Challa was the one taken up in the Ravager there. And, what if he became Star-Lord? How would it done differently in this universe? We saw that opening shot with him like we did with Star-Lord in the first movie, where he goes and sees Jaman Hensu.
Yeah.
What? Who? Who? So we saw that scene, and it was T'Challa when the mask came off, and it sets off a chain of events that change everything in Marvel that we saw. We saw Thanos in this episode. Most everybody came back for this episode. All the characters from the Guardians. Karen Gillan did the voice. We had Michael Rooker there, and this, Uncle Merle there, Michael Rooker, and him and T'Challa this was like a buddy episode for them. They were in most of the scenes together throughout this, working together. So that was really cool to see him and Rooker work together. It just changed the events of everything. Like, instead of Thanos being the big bad here, we saw him working together with the Ravagers. There was always this running joke throughout the episode of like, I had this great plan, and wouldn't it be genocide? But he's like, no, it would be, it would be magic. So he still had that idea in his head, but he obviously never went through it. So the whole finger snap incident didn't happen in this universe, and things were totally different. We saw different, characters doing different things than we saw in the movies. So this episode really did a good job in portraying, T'Challa as Star-Lord. And I thought, after this episode, he would have made a cool Star-Lord. If he wasn't Black Panther, I would have bought him in this role too.
I love how they keep diving in with the recent shows in the MCU, the multiverse, alternate realities. What could happen? Everything we've seen in the movies in the first few phases, and everything's completely different. With characters being in different situations we're not used to. So that's what I like about Black Panther. Being with this crew from the Guardians of the Galaxy, his relationship with Michael Rooker's character, they were really funny together. They had a really good father-son kind of relationship going on in this, and seeing a lot of familiar faces along the way, without giving too much away. Benicio del Toro shows up, and really loved his character, the Collector. His little boxes full of different creatures and characters that we're familiar with. One being voiced by one of my favorite actors growing up, Seth Green. I noticed his voice right away. I'm like, that's cool, but I'm not going to give away the character, but it's really awesome what they do with that. If you guys have seen Guardians and post-credit scenes, really great. But a lot of other characters, Karen Gillan showing up, Thanos, I thought he was great. Josh Brolin, kind of cracking dad jokes, it felt like. Jokes that me and you would say because we're dads. But really funny, always making the joke about genocide, like you're saying. He did a little snap thing at the end, which was really funny and clever. I love how they did this with Black Panther's character taking place instead of Star-Lord. The dancing machine, loving 80s music. It was a different take, and I really appreciated that. It was a really cool concept, and I actually enjoyed this episode a little more than the first episode. First episode was great, but this one I think worked for me more all around. Just a way better developed episode. Familiar faces, had some great comedy, some great heart in there, seeing the side of Black Panther, who he was as a person. And then obviously voiced by Chadwick Boseman, which we all miss. Really great actor that gone too soon, but I loved hearing the voice one more time in this character. That was really well done all across the board.
Absolutely. I had a great time with this episode too. Like you said, this improved on the first one. The first one was really good. This one bumped things up a notch. We got to see all these great characters that we saw from, the Avengers movies and Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy, and see the story twist and see Thanos as, not the big villain in this. He was actually one of the people that was, helping out this time. It was also interesting to see how T'Challa was the one taken up in the ship. And then, eventually by the end of the episode, we get to see, how his parents felt, because this whole time he'd been disappeared. They didn't really know where he was. So in the episode, we do see him eventually go back to Wakanda and be reunited with his parents, and it was a great ending to this too. And a great ending for Chadwick Boseman's, his final performance here. And it was pretty emotional at the end. And right before the final credits there, they did a nice little dedication to him, which was nice. So yeah, by the end of the episode, you'll really miss Chadwick and his performance. And I'm glad they got to do this for him one last time. After seeing him in the live action, we got to hear him in this episode, and he gets front and center here. And it's been the best episode of the series so far on these two, and it was really great and well done.
Yeah, and it was really interesting seeing T'Challa's father still alive too. So in the movies he was killed, but it was a cool take. I like how he's still alive and getting reunited with his son again after not seeing him for so long. Him showing up with Michael Rooker's character and the rest of the Rascals and Thanos and all of them. It really had a cool dynamic between all of them, all different personalities, but it really worked in this. A lot of great comedy. Really great character development, and seeing T'Challa in a different role we're not used to. So with that being said, episode 2 is definitely my favorite of the two so far. That's not saying much, but I thought it was just well crafted all around, really great. A lot of great heart. And I'll give episode 2 of What If a 4.5 out of 5 Scott Stapp hair pieces.
I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5 Ravager hair pieces. An excellent send-off for Chadwick Boseman. I think we both agreed that this episode was even better than the first one, and I'm looking forward to these more stories here on this alternate take of the Marvel Universe. We're going to see some great stories coming up. Doctor Strange, Loki, all these different takes on it, and we're eventually going to get to that awesome episode that I'm really looking forward to, the Marvel Zombies episode. Yes, which should be really cool based on the comic series. So
yeah, I have those, a few, not all of them, but they're really fucking fantastic and gory and bloody, and it's right up our alley. So I'm really excited for that too.
Yeah, this will be a nice little palette, a cleanser for that, and we'll get to some more great episodes here. This one's really strong. This is going to set the bar for the rest of them. So this will be the episode moving forward that we're going to be, comparing to the next stories and see if they can live up to this one. But this was a great tribute to Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. Chadwick. Taken too soon. We miss you. And this is a nice little nod to him. And I'm sure in the next phase of movies, we're going to be seeing more tributes to him, obviously with Black Panther 2 and everything coming out too. So very well done. What If? Another a good show, good episode. And we'll be back next week for the next one.
Stay tuned to our YouTube channel. More videos coming out here right in our YouTube channel. I just interviewed an actor a few days ago. Got more podcasts, reviews, me and this guy right over here, and movies and TVs and more entertainment news. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, hit subscribe below, and also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our website, Cinephellas.com. And if you want to check out Henry Hill, look on his OnlyFans account.
Until the next What If adventure, Uncle Scott Stapp, cheers.